Everyone here probably knows me as Kaylee's little sister, and throughout our childhood, she's taught me a lot of different lessons and experiences that sisters get to share. You can only imagine. When we were little, Kaylee actually used to speak for me and tell my mom what I wanted to eat or drink as a snack, so I didn't have to. And then when we got a little bit older, my parents would have 2 jobs for us on a Saturday. And Kaylee would tell me that because she was oldest, she would get to choose what she wanted first, and she would always get to mow the lawn, which was the easiest job, and then I would get stuck piling wood or doing the pool with a vacuum that doesn't work. And Kaylee's excuse for this was when I got older and I could drive the lawnmower as good as her, I would be able to do it. Well, then when Kaylee finally got her permit, I will never forget my first ride with her. I didn't know if I was gonna make it home. I never knew what those handles at the top of the car were for, but I learned really quickly that day. There were a lot of other first experiences where Kaylee took me to my first college party and taught me what a hookah was. And even though I was her younger sister, I ended up being bigger and taller than she was. And when we were at our first Fleetwood Mac tribute concert, Kaylee got into a fight. And then she actually told the woman she was fighting with that she liked me to beat the woman up. I overheard it, and the fight I was likely to be in, I just kind of looked at her. And it's a long story short, my whole family ended up in the VIP section in Myrtle Beach. No, and she's very lucky. One of the most recent memories we have together was that we got to pick out our wedding dresses together. But she found hers before I did, that one I tried on, but it looked way better on her. Steven is an amazing guy, even though he is a Cowboys fan. Go Rams. And a great addition to the family. But anyways, meeting our soulmates together is the most recent journey for us, and I'm so excited to see what's to come.
You guys are so cool.
Hi everyone, so I'm Molly, and I'm one of Kaylee's best friends since 5th grade, so a long time. I don't know how to fit my friendship with Kaylee into the minute I have, but I'm gonna try. I'm so sorry, I'm pregnant, so I'm gonna cry easily, you know? Standing up at that altar was like seeing things in slow motion. Here is the girl that I did weird things with. Her family knows, you know. This is the little girl that calmed me down and that I wild up, and the little girl who helped me through friendships, starting and ending, boyfriends, breakups, just everything. And when I look back at my life, Kaylee has always been there. Kaylee isn't my sister, but she's one of the people I can be myself around and never feel judged. The person I know I would always pick up the phone, and she would always pick up the phone or at least call me back. She's the one person who always makes me feel brave, because no matter what happened, or no matter how bad or embarrassing or crappy it was, I know I have her in my corner. Now for Steve, I guess. Oh. My biggest complaint about Steve is that he took so long to find my best friend. I'm so happy they found their way to each other and that he makes her so happy. A little quote, a little semi-toast, but the real one's coming, so don't finish your glass. But may your love be modern enough to survive the times and old-fashioned enough to last forever. I love you guys.
Thank you. All right, I don't want to beat a dead horse because I think that they covered everything.
Put it down.
Yeah, I'm Brittany. I'm the second matron of honor here. Also, Kaylee's been one of my best friends since her 16th birthday party that she invited me to, and there was a lot of confusion as to why I was invited. But Kaylee and I, we've had so many great times, so many laughs, and we've been to a lot of places. We've made a lot of friends, good and bad. Yeah. In the midst of all that, I did help convince her not to move to Nashville, which I don't get enough credit for that. I don't get enough credit for that. And then she met Steve, and thank God she met Steve, because we love Steve. Steve, you're so chill, you're so fun, and with your witty sarcasm, it works. And Kay, you are one of the most hilarious, most loyal, fascinating women that I've ever met. And seriously, you brighten every room that you walk into. And you're so true to yourself. And like, I've always admired that. Like, you knew you weren't gonna settle for anything less than a Steve. I think to that, let's raise our glasses and cheers to this beautiful couple. I'm so happy that you found it.
Hello. I'm Craig Sester, Steve's brother. One thing about me is every wedding I go to, I tell everybody that I'm the best man there. Actually, Steve and my friend Adam actually gave me the title, so thank you. I'm honored to be here today. I've got a really hard time following these two beautiful ladies that did a great job, so let's congratulate them. Great job tonight. Oh, and Carrie. Thank you, good job. When I think about weddings, I think about changes. Changes are a huge thing. We go through millions of changes throughout our life. Weddings are a huge change. So I'm gonna kind of go through a journey of changes that happen in Steve's life. I'm not gonna talk about all the changes. I don't have enough time. Some of them are crazy. He probably still might get arrested for a couple, so I'm gonna go light. I'm not gonna talk about all changes, but to give an example of something I'm not gonna talk about is when we were younger, my grandfather at our camp had a burn barrel. He burned garbage, and Steve loved to pee on it. One day, Steve got a little too close to that barrel, but I'm not gonna talk about that. I'm not here to bring up that, so let's move on. I'm looking around, a lot of friends in this room, and friends help with change. So Steve graduated from college, was out trying to get a phys ed job, and locally couldn't find a full-time phys ed job. We found out that Baltimore, Maryland was hiring, so he went down and interviewed Friday morning, and as he's driving home Friday afternoon, they called him and said, "Hey Steve, we want to offer you the job. Can you start Monday?" And my brother, being as smart and put together as he is, he goes, "Oh no, I can't start Monday. I don't have anywhere to live. I don't have a plan. I don't even have clothes to work this job. I'll take it and start Tuesday." So with that, luckily, Chris Malley and Casey Malley took him in and let him live with them so long that we actually just started calling them Steve's mom and dad too, because he just didn't leave. But thank you guys.
That was a great kid.
Great kid. Changes. The biggest change, and when I think of change, is coronavirus, COVID-19. So, it affected people many different ways. We lost some people got really sick. It changed the way of people's lives and day to day to even today, it's still a change. I'd say for me, it was a great change. It was March 15th. My brother moved back. He was living in my house. I was barely there, so he was running the house, I guess. And but March 15th is when they pulled the plug, said everybody go home, hide in your houses. And it was like 11 o'clock, and Steve calls me. He's like, "I'm at BJ's. I have a cart full of stuff. I think I hurt some old lady. I'm gonna be in line for 5 hours. Do you need anything else?" I'm like, "No, thank you, Steve. I'll be home tonight." So Steve gets home, and I think to his surprise, it wasn't to me, it was to Tiffany, her son Gavin, and our dog Melby. And that day his life changed because he ended up living with us throughout that year. I'm really grateful because he got an opportunity to have a real strong relationship with my little guy Gavin. We had to fight Gavin every morning. Gav, it's 5:30. Let Steve sleep another half hour before you go jump on him. So, but you know, to this day, he calls Steve Uncle Steve, and sometimes when he's mad at Steve, he calls him a knuckle buckle. So, looking at Kaylee, she's beautiful tonight. She did a great job. You know, that was one of the biggest changes. So, December, Christmas Day 2020, Steve pops in and goes, "Is it okay that somebody comes over?" And I'm looking at my wife, and I'm like, "Sure, that's weird, you live here." So as soon as we say it, Kaylee walks in the door and sits right in front of us. We've never seen this girl. Steve is like, you know, government, he doesn't tell you anything, it just happens. So Tiff and I are looking at each other. We had probably a million questions, but we were trying not to sound like we were crazy people. So we just smiled and said hi, and you know, little do we know that our lives were gonna change, and you know, I'd get a new sister. So one thing that Steve's been good is he rolls with the punches, he makes changes, but every once in a while he doesn't make changes. And around that same time, there's a Christmas show, it's called Lights on the Lake in Syracuse. It's like an hour and a half away from us, so they went on this date. It was early on, and they drove up there, and then you get stuck in this line, and if it's busy, you're waiting. So they're waiting, and you know, an hour in, Kaylee's like, I have to go to the bathroom. And Steve, being calm and cool, is like, well, there's nowhere to go. She's like, I'm gonna go in the back. So she goes to the back of this car and goes to the bathroom. And you know, Kaylee, great convincer. She told everybody she did a great job. The car and the evidence shows that maybe she didn't do the best job. The one thing about change, though, is, you know, Steve didn't make a change. He still has that car. So, and also Kaylee's still here. So it was a twofer. So, but I've seen you change Steve so much. We used to say Steve was like a robot. You know, he showed no emotion. He was like just a wall. But now he's gotten a lot more emotional. Him hugging and dancing with Kaylee is like crazy. So Kaylee, awesome job with that. And I think like he's made the right choice, and it shows on those things. Kaylee, you know, I've known Steve his whole life. I've known other people longer, Steve, but he's loyal, he's dependable. He's also somebody that like has some patience. You know, you guys will need it at some point. But Steve, you know, congratulations, you found a beautiful woman. Last part is really the fact that you guys are really lucky. You have great parents. You have even more amazing siblings. And you guys are going to start a great family together. I do ask you guys to do one thing before I give up this mic. Look around this room right now. You got that camera out front where you can take the still picture. Take those in your head. You have your friends, family, witnesses here today for this wedding. Take it in. Remember that. Okay, enough of that. Now look at each other. I want you to look at each other deep in the eye. I just want you guys to know this and remember this. The person you're looking at right now, statistically, is most likely to murder you. Thank you guys. Congratulations. I love you. Let's party.
We look at Mother Teresa, St. Teresa of Calcutta. She had a saying for many people, and one in particular, she often said to people who were getting married. That simple saying is, what you need, you already have. What you need, you already have. You know, again, for both of you today, this is the start of a new life, a new journey. You know, we look at our own lives as a journey, as a race. And there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be high points and low points, just as in any relationship. Anybody who's married here for any length of time knows that a lot goes into marriage. A lot goes into a healthy relationship, a healthy communication. And those things both of you will learn in time. I can't guarantee that every day is going to be perfect. But the one thing I do want you to look back on is this day. what the two of you share today, those moments when you walk down the aisle, the moment for you, Stephen, when you first saw her. Look toward those moments when things get difficult, but also look toward those moments every single day, because this day is perfect in the eyes of God. You begin your new lives, your new journey of faith before God and before all friends and family today. So I would encourage the both of you, look back on this day in so many years. Look at the perfection. Look at all of those things. And when things may get tough, look at all of those small things and say how small they really were at the time. But for now, we focus on the love that the two of you share. The things that you need, you already have. Kaylee and Stephen, have you come here to enter into marriage without coercion, freely and wholeheartedly?
I do.
Yes, I do.
Are you prepared, as to follow the path of marriage, to love and honor each other as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Are you prepared to accept children lovingly from God and to bring them up according to the law of Christ and His church?
I do.
Perfect timing. I, Stephen,
I, Stephen,
take you, Kaylee,
take you, Kaylee,
to be my wife.
to be my wife.
I promise to be faithful to you
I promise to be faithful to you
in good times and in bad,
in good times and in bad,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love you and honor you
to love you and honor you
all the days of my life.
to all my days of my life.
And Kaylee, I ask you please respond after me. I, Kaylee,
I, Kaylee,
take you, Stephen,
take you, Stephen,
to be my husband.
to be my husband.
I promise to be faithful to you
I promise to be faithful to you
in good times and in bad,
in good times and in bad,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love you and honor you
to love you and honor you
all the days of my life.
all the days of my life.
It gives me great pleasure to be able to introduce to you for the first time in public, Mr. and Mrs. Sester. You may kiss your bride.
Many of you already know this. My name's Wesley Krager. I'm the incredibly proud father of Kaylee, and I'm very happy that you all could attend tonight. It's a very special occasion for these two, and we just appreciate every one of you coming and enjoying the day with us. Many of you noticed the 37 Chevy out front. We used it bring the bride and groom to the venue tonight and used it at the place. But this car has a very special meaning to me. When I was 18 years old, I happened to get it from, well, an ex-girlfriend. Long story there, but it was a good thing I got the car. It wouldn't be here today if I didn't, but that was the divorce settlement anyways. But so I had plans all my life that I wanted to fix the car up and have for my daughter's wedding. Well, a lot of things have come and gone since then. And one thing is, I don't have the knowledge to fix it. And number two, I didn't have the money to fix it. So my nephew came along about a couple of years ago and said, hey, I know a guy that's been looking for a 37 Chevy Sports Coupe. And I said, I don't think I want to sell it. And they made a hell of a pitch. I go home, I think about it again, and I said, the problem is, I can't fulfill one of the dreams I had when I was 18, and that was to take my daughter to her wedding. So, well, it changed. But anyways, So what happened was I said to Brian, I said, okay, here's the financial deal, but I have one caveat. The caveat is that you have to get the car fixed up and take my daughter to her wedding on her wedding day, not mine, but anyways, so I'd like to thank Brian here for what he's done. He's a great person, and he made both Kaylee and my dream come true. So thank you, Brian.
For the second time today, and please welcome the new Mr. and Mrs. Stephen and Kaylee Sester. Let the party
Take my hand in this empty room. You're my girl and I'm your groom. Come to me, my sweetest friend. This is where we start again.
Stephen, can't believe it's been 3 years. 3 years since our first date. 3 years since I walked into Davolo's and you had a vodka soda water waiting for me. 3 years since we shared our first kiss in the parking lot. They've been filled with excessive kitty snuggles, way too much moving, lots of Facebook Marketplace sales, and many, many Venmo requests.
Yeah.
In these 3 years, you've become my best friend, the person who has my whole heart. I vow to always support your fantasy football team, to spend frugally, and love you until my last breath. Now let's go get hitched.
All right.
First of all, it's Veterans Day. If anybody served in the military, please stand up. Stand up. Thank y'all. We're allowed to do this for y'all.
Now you stand on your own. You'll always be my little girl, my whole life, my whole world, my little girl. This day is more than just a day. Gives me one more chance to show the world how proud I am. There's 3 more minutes for Mama and her son. Yeah, she's gonna cry, and so am I. 'Cause in her eyes, I'm still her baby boy. Yeah, you know I'm your man, but can she have this thing?
Kaylee Ray Kreger, soon to be Mrs. Sester. Great name. All right. I can't believe we made it through this year. It's been a crazy, crazy year. All the moving, all the weddings we had to go to. Those are good times and crazy times. Obviously, with your property, my property, it was sometimes hell, but We'll get out there, all right? First off, I just want to say you look beautiful, amazing, and this dress looks awesome on you. It was very nice. You stole that from your sister. And before she got married, she probably wanted this one. You took it from her. I just want to say I will always be there for you for the highs and lows. During stressful times and the fun times. During the moments of happiness and when we get nice and old, all right? Obviously, the first time when I met you, we went to, our first date was to Volo's, and you had that lovely cheetah mask on. But the best part about that mask, when you took it off, you had this beautiful smile that I still love. All right. With the date, it was very fun. You did all the talking. I just listened. And at the end, it was a great kiss. All right, and we had many awesome dates past that as well. I promised to clean the litter box. All right, I've been doing that anyways, but it's been terrible. Promise to appreciate all the little things you do for me. Promise to be your #1 fan. I promise to love you, even you do some stuff half-ass. All right. I promise to love you to my last breath. All right. I have some other stuff in the back as well. One of my favorite moments, just with your family, when we went to Georgia, the Marietta, Georgia Marietta, and we were at in line to get food, and you three ladies were talking, and a lady budged in front of you, and you three ladies moved your head like you're ready to kill that woman. It was very scary, but it was very funny. All right, and obviously, just do a little bit of support. Obviously, I'd like to have support with obviously cats, love them, and real estate in our future.
Good job, baby.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you too.